Hi, everybody. It's good to be in Ethiopia. We started in Israel, and we worked our way over here. Next stop, Rwanda, and after that, London. And I finally get to take a vacation for a week. It's been 3 years, and I'm still not sure where I'm going to go. So I'm Charles Hoskinson. I'm the CEO of Input Output. I've done a few companies before that, Ethereum and BitShares. And I'm an accidental entrepreneur. I never thought I was actually going to start a company. I was a mathematician, and I thought I was going to be an academic. And I kind of stumbled my way into this space, and it's a pretty magical space. See, blockchain technology, cryptocurrency technology is really a human field. It's tremendously interesting from an academic perspective. You have an intersection of all of these different fields of study: cryptography, distributed systems theory, game theory, economics, law, and policy. But at the end of the day, it's about people, and it's about how people relate to each other. It's about trust. It's about coordination. It's about representation of value. It's about identity. It's about reputation. It's about a collection of these factors that we all take for granted. In countries like the United States, in places like Europe, we have very good systems at the moment for coordinating. So we have lots of wealth. In other places in the world, those systems, for whatever reason, aren't where they need to be. And so it's hard for people to build wealth and maintain wealth and sustain wealth and be able to trade. And these problems have only been exacerbated by the consequences of globalization. As we globalize, it's bringing opportunity to many, but it's not quite getting to all. So the magic of blockchain technology is it's going to, in a way, restructure the entire global economy, much like the internet did and much like many institutions did before that. It wasn't too long ago that if you were in the financial industry, you didn't go to the United States, you went to England. In the 19th century, Junius Morgan, the father of J.P. Morgan, couldn't actually get a stable financial business in New York. He had to go to England and work with George Peabody. Think of that, the country now that has the largest financial markets. It's in charge of a large chunk of the world economy, and most people look to us for financial innovation. Was considered to be a joke in the 19th century. Our currency wasn't very strong. Our bonds often defaulted. And yet, just 50 years later, we were a Goliath. Why? Because technology changes, social processes change, trust changes, the arc of society changes. And so what blockchain technology is doing for the world is it's a great reset. The people who run things today will probably not be the people who run things tomorrow. And the people who are hungry today, the people who really want to make an impact today, can have a chance in a generation or two of being in charge of the next world economy. And we've already seen great innovation amongst people very hungry in Singapore and in Switzerland and Liechtenstein. You know, recently I was in Barbados, old Barbados, known for its rum. And the government's extremely hungry to welcome the market here. And we actually ran a class there in partnership with the University of West Indies. We trained a whole group of Bayesian developers. And they're extremely excited about everything from innovating the money to supply chain management for production of sugarcane and rum and other such things, to how to better handle identity and reputation as they globalize. So it's extremely exciting to me to have the opportunity to come to a place like Ethiopia, a very ancient country with an incredible history. In fact, this is the birthplace of humanity. I believe one of the oldest fossils was discovered right here, Lucy. And it's an extraordinary culture. To be able to come here is quite humbling, actually. And to be able to actually learn about the problems is incredibly humbling as well. The reality is we have the best scientists in Scotland and Japan and many other places. There's actually even media here from Japan. But while we can build pretty much anything, it's hard for us to know what to build without actually interacting with the people that need it. So the only way to do that is not to show up and assume you know everything. The only way to do that is to talk to people, to train people, to learn from people. And in our experience, the best way of learning from people is to teach them what we know and then have them teach us what they know. So how do we do that? Our model is simple. We go and partner with a university, partner with a government, and say, give us your best. And then we'll give those people a great opportunity. I'll bring my best. When we say we're going to teach you Haskell, that's a programming language, One of the people involved in the class is the person who created the programming language. He's a world famous professor, Phil Wadler, at University of Edinburgh. He's got a Wikipedia page, I think 25,000 citations. In the academic world, that means you won. He's at the top. And this is the kind of thing that most excites him throughout his entire career. And when we teach students here, he's going to be involved in that, as will Duncan Coutts, who came from Oxford, as will Lars Brunjes, a German mathematician who trained at Cambridge, and others. That's our best. They're experts not only in the technology we deal with, but technology in general. And after we've trained them, you know what? We're going to set them loose at the local industry and say, tell me about coffee. You see, I grew up in Hawaii, and we also have coffee. It's Kona coffee. And actually, it was a bit disheartening growing up there, looking at the sugarcane, the pineapple, and the coffee industry, which used to be a big chunk of the Hawaiian economy, completely go away. It's all been replaced. When I was growing up, I'd go into the pineapple fields and steal pineapples. It was fun. I think a lot of the kids did that. Now it's just condos and golf courses or vacant land because the industry wasn't sustainable. So agrotech actually, and agriculture in general in our family's history, my dad grew up in Montana, my grandfather grew up in Montana, they were ranchers. It's a big chunk of our family's history. It's where we come from. It's exciting to ask about innovation, whether it be how do we improve yields or how do we combine AI and IoT and blockchain technology together to get a better understanding of the supply chain and what we need to do to actually reduce waste, fraud, and abuse and improve profit and equitability for all. That's exciting. But I don't know a damn thing about the coffee business, but you guys sure do. And you know a lot more than basically anybody else in the world. This is where it came from. So what's amazing is that we can talk to the best here, bring our best, train some people here, and within a very short period of time, months to years, build products and innovations that are more sophisticated than the ones you'd see in Silicon Valley, or you'd see in Tokyo, or you'd see in London. That's a really amazing thing, and that just shows you how powerful and scalable this technology can be and what we can do. As a closing thought, throughout the arc of my career, yes, I've started a few companies, and apparently they're somewhat successful, and I've made a few dollars here and there. But a mantra I like to live my life by is, it's not what you do for those who have the most that define you. It's what you do for those who have the least. That's what we have to live our lives by. And for the first time in human history, because of the internet and because of this open source movement, and because of blockchain technology, we are starting to have discussions about markets, about identity, about property, in a global perspective instead of these siloed perspectives, which means everybody in the world has equal opportunity. And everybody in the world, no matter where they're born, whether they won the geographic lottery or not, if they're hungry and they really want to push forward for something, they'll have a chance to actually compete at the same level that I got to, and other people who came from the places I came from got to. And that's really humbling, and that's really exciting. And I think it's actually going to make the world a much better place. So thank you all for coming. I look forward to learning from you, and this is going to be a really exciting trip. Cheers.